Okay, so here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Online. Check us out, www.bwtmonline.com. Check us out on Facebook, BWTM Online. Check us out on Instagram, BWTM Online. And also check us out on Twitter, Bayloric World TV. Okay, so the title of this video is called, "Is Manny Pacquiao really ducking Errol Spence Jr.?" I don't usually do videos like this. I find them rather annoying, to be quite honest. But this is something I have to address for a number of reasons. So let's get into this. So recently there was a fight, as you all know. Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia. We'll call him the great Mikey Garcia because the six-weight world champion or six-time world champion, whatever. The great Mikey Garcia was considered by some knowledgeable boxing fans and boxing experts to have had a chance against Errol Spence. He was just a little bit better than Errol Spence in his opinion, in Sugar Ray Leonard's opinion, in Mike Tyson's opinion, in quite a few people's opinions. Some people even believed that Mikey Garcia would have knocked out Errol Spence. They really did. They put it on Facebook. They put it out on Twitter. They said that Mikey Garcia would go out and knock out Errol Spence. Mikey Garcia's got to be pretty good, considering that many people have considered Errol Spence to be the bogeyman. Me personally, I've said that he's been good at what he's done. Whether he's the best in the division, I haven't seen enough fights against top opposition for him to say that. He had to fight against Kell Brook. Kell Brook already got beaten up by Golovkin, so I don't know how much of Kell Brook was left by the time Spence got to him, and he did take a whooping by Golovkin, moving up 2 weight divisions. Now look at the next fight, big fight that Errol Spence is featured in, is against a guy in the name of Mikey Garcia. Yes, he's been unbeaten, achieved nothing as a welterweight. As a light welterweight, yes, he did well against Robert Easter, but nobody's saying Robert Easter was the best in the world. He was a good fighter. And, you know, Mikey Garcia did in lower weights, seemed very impressive. But he never did anything as a welterweight. Let's not get anything twisted here. I'm not taking away from Errol Spence's performance. He used his boxing skills. Everyone say he was too big and he was big and his weight, but he used his boxing skills. He used a good jab, used his good left hand, you know, and dug good body shots in. He was able to outbox Mikey Garcia. He was able to use his boxing ability to get in and out and do what he had to do and put on a masterclass and put a beat on Mikey Garcia. Yes, he was the bigger man in there, but he also was the bigger man and the better man. Had that fight been at lightweight, Spence would still have won the fight because Spence is technically a better boxer than Mikey Garcia. Okay, that's a fact. He's a better boxer than Mikey Garcia, and that fight showed you that. Never mind all his size, technical ability, pound for pound, Errol Spence is a better boxer than Mikey Garcia. Is he a better boxer than Terence Crawford? That remains to be seen. We want to see a fight like that. We want to see him against Keith Thurman. We even want to see him against Sean Porter. A lot of people think Sean Porter can't box. He's a bit wild and amateurish, whatever. But people are clamoring for that fight, and people will say Sean Porter is ducking Errol Spence. Now we have to look at this thing ducking, and I want to say a massive shout out to my Filipino supporters, because there's a lot of them on BWTM. They come out in support when Pacquiao fights. It's not the first time they've come out in support, and for the majority of Pacquiao fans, they're very respectful and very supportive of their guy and their man. And it's good to see that. And it's a shout out to the Filipinos around the world that are supporters of Manny Pacquiao. And of course, shout out to the supporters of Errol Spence and the supporters of boxing in general. What I've seen here is this word ducking. It seems to be a new age statement or a millennium statement or these, I call them new age boxing gurus. How can a man, and I have to say, I will say the great Manny Pacquiao, right? I say that. You can say what you want about Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao came from a very low weight division. Is it he came from a very low weight division and fought right up to like middleweight? Say what you want about, well, those belts that he won in other weight divisions and all the rest of it, fine. He still fought in those weight divisions. Let me remind you of who Manny Pacquiao is. For those people who are not sure, you can go to BoxRec for yourselves and you can see who Manny Pacquiao is. And I'm going to BoxRec. I'm going to BoxRec for this purpose and this purpose only, to look at the names on Pacquiao's record. And you tell me if this is a man that's been ducking people. Adrian Broner, Lucas Matisse, Jeff Horn, Jesse Vargas, Timothy Bradley, Floyd Mayweather, Chris Algieri, Tim Bradley, Brandon Rios, Juan Manuel Marquez, Timothy Bradley, Shane Mosley, Antonio Margarito, Joshua Clottey, Miguel Cotto, Ricky Hatton, Oscar De La Hoya, David Diaz, Manuel Marquez, Barrera, Eric Morales. That does not sound like a list of guys that nobody knows about. That sounds like a list of guys that are either top 10 fighters, world champions, former world champions, or people that are going to go down in the Hall of Fame. We know definitely guys like Floyd Mayweather is going to make the Hall of Fame. We know for sure that. Juan Manuel Marquez will make it. Shane Mosley will get in there, I believe. Miguel Cotto will get in there. Ricky Hatton will end up getting there eventually. Marc Anthony Barrera will be in there. So there's 5 already. Tim Bradley may get in there. Former world champion. So you've got fighters there. Okay? And he has taken on everybody. If you fought pound for pound the best fighter in the world, which is Floyd Mayweather, and fought him. But let me look down the record of Manny Pacquiao, the guys he's fought. Okay, Broner was 33-3. Matisse is 39-4. Jeff Horn, when he fought him, was 16-0. Jesse Vargas, 27-1. Bradley was 33-1. Floyd Mayweather, 47-0. Chris Algieri, I believe, was unbeaten at 20-0. Bradley was 31-0. Brandon Rios was 31-1. Marquez was 54-6. A tremendous fighter. Sugar Shea Mosley, 46-6. Miguel Cotto, 34-1. Ricky Hatton, 45-1. Oscar De La Hoya, 35-5. 39-5. Marc Anthony Barrera, 63-5. How can people in their right minds be saying that a man like Manny Pacquiao, who's fought the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world of his generation, has moved up in weight, has fought the best fighters around of his generation at his time, can be ducking Errol Spence, who's fought Kell Brook, Mikey Garcia? How is that ducking someone? I'm really concerned with the state of boxing and the sort of people that are being allowed breathing time to talk about boxing, and people that are listening to this garbage. Manny Pacquiao is a legend. If we start destroying our legends, we're going to have absolutely nothing to trace back. We're going to have nothing to trace back. Oh, GGG would have walked out, would have walked through Marvin Hagler. We have absolutely no regard for our former fighters. We have no respect for a legend in Manny Pacquiao. The guy's 40 years old. He just finished fighting Adrian Broner. Okay? You've got these people called Manny Pacquiao ducking, and people who've got this on the YouTube channel, I advise you to stop listening to them because they're poisoning your minds. Ducking Errol Spence. The man is 40 years old. Just go back and look at this man's record. The last 4 fights. Look at Pacquiao's last 4 fights. His last 4 fights. Broner, Matisse, Horn, and Vargas. His last 6 fights. Broner, Matisse, Horn, Vargas, Bradley, and Mayweather. Last 6. The best fighter in his era. top 10 fighter in Bradley, top 10 fighter in Vargas. And I believe either Vargas the champion at the time? Yeah, Vargas was the champion at the time. Then the unbeaten Jeff Horn, who he lost to, but I thought he actually won that fight in Australia. Then he fought the big punching Lucas Matisse. Then he fought Adrian Broner. There's still top quality opposition. Right. Now, this is not me knocking Spence, but I got a lot of time for Errol Spence. A lot of time for Errol Spence Jr. Okay? Errol Spence Jr. 25 and 0. Okay? Okay, his last 5 fights, Spence, he fought Garcia, great, who was 39 and 0. Fought Carlos Ocampo, 22 and 0. Lamont Peterson, 35 and 3. Kell Brook, 36 and 1. And Leonard Bundu, 33 and 1. Then before that was Chris Algieri. And then some guys down there that we really wouldn't care for. Okay. Who do you see on currently Spence's resume that would make Pacquiao scared of facing him or would want to duck him? Look, the bottom line is Pacquiao's 40 years old. 40 years old and still operating at elite level. Legendary. Some of these people that you listen to in boxing, you have to find out where exactly their heads are. Why? I wouldn't advise Pacquiao to fight Errol Spence. Why would you fight Errol Spence? Oh, well, he fought Broner. Yeah, he fought Broner. That's Broner. But Broner's another guy that's moved up in weight. This guy is a welterweight that could easily fight a light middle or middleweight. And yes, Pacquiao's moved up in weight before. Pacquiao's at the tail end of his career. Fights against Mayweather. And, you know, there are other fights that Pacquiao could have now. He doesn't have to go and have that heat against Errol Spence. Why? What for? To please you? So you ridicule your legend because he doesn't want to fight Errol Spence? Errol Spence has got young, hungry fighters that want to fight him. Porter, we know that, you know, you could say Keith Thurman's ducking him. But never listen, forget about that for a second. There are other guys in other weight divisions and weight categories that are not fighting one another. Fury won't fight Wilder now. He's gone out and gone to fight Tom Swartz. Are people making a big fuss that Fury's ducking Wilder? Huh? Or maybe Gennady Golovkin and he's come back. Trying to get, you know, the opportunity for him to fight Andrade. Is he ducking Andrade? Is Golovkin ducking a fight against the Charlo brother? Jamal Charlo? Is he ducking Jamal Charlo? Charlo was the #1 contender. Golovkin's team had no interest in fighting Charlo. And he was the #1 contender. But you won't hear me talk about that. And this is what I'm talking about. This sport has got a lot of people with a lot of agendas that are not balanced. And they have no respect for the legends we have in this sport. No respect. And they overrate average fighters and they underrate and absolutely belittle legendary fighters. Not on. When Floyd Mayweather was at his peak and he was beating the people up, he was doing well. Even Floyd later on in his career, when he fought Pacquiao, well, when he fought Canelo, Canelo's going to beat him. He beats Canelo. Canelo's too young. But he wasn't young leading up to the fight. He wasn't young on the scales, and he wasn't young when they got in the ring. When Floyd beat him, he suddenly became young and inexperienced. Then he should fight Golovkin. Not crediting people's achievements of what they're doing in the sport. But as you look at the UFC, where their fighter gets knocked out, pulverized, destroyed, there's always a way back. UFC, generally, their commentators are more supporting, are more loving of their fighters. We, in the boxing community, destroy fighters, whether via social media, and there are people who are still talking today about Joshua versus Wilder today. You've got nothing better else to talk about. And that's your agenda, and that's up to you. But what I'm saying is this. Leave Manny Pacquiao alone. Leave him alone. Hasn't he given you enough in this sport? Hasn't he given you enough great nights of boxing? Why would he be scared of Errol Spence? What has Errol Spence done so great in his career? Like, I'm not saying he's not been a good fighter. I'm not saying Errol Spence is not a consistent fighter. I'm not saying Errol Spence is not a talented fighter. I'm not saying Errol Spence is not potentially a pound-for-pound great down the line. But what I am saying is that Manny Pacquiao is proven Hall of Fame and has fought the best and the best and has beaten some of the best and has got beaten by some of the best. But he's got beaten by some of the very best and robbed on some occasions. So to call him a ducker is absolutely ludicrous. And people that think that Manny Pacquiao is ducking Errol Spence need to be castrated. They should not be talking about boxing. And anytime you hear somebody talk about Manny Pacquiao ducking Errol Spence, the man now should take a few fights and get nicely going to retirement. Pacquiao should be fighting. In my opinion, Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting now. Pacquiao should not be fighting now. But if he's going to fight, let the man make his money. He's done enough for the sport. He's given enough to the sport. The way you find if a fighter is ducking someone is to look at what they do when they're in a position to fight the #1 contender or to fight the champion or to make a title defense. Look who they fight after that. Look who they fight afterwards. Or look at their track record and see. Let me see in this guy's career, has he stepped up? Has he stepped up? Has he stepped up? Has he fought the best possible guys around? Has he been willing to fight the best possible guys around? Or is this guy a businessman trying to make as much money as he can out of the sport without taking as much punishment as possible? That's it. Why does Pacquiao want to get himself into a fight against Errol Spence and get himself beat up? For what reason? I would put Pacquiao in the ring with Errol Spence. The Pacquiao that fought Ricky Hatton, I'd have no problems putting Pacquiao in the ring with Errol Spence. That Pacquiao that time, of course, Errol Spence was a little boy by then. But I'm talking in times of eras. Now, no. No, Pacquiao's at the end of his career. So that's my thoughts personally. Is Pacquiao ducking Errol Spence? Absolutely not. Is Pacquiao looking to end his career on a high and make as much money as possible? Absolutely. And do I support that? Absolutely. And once again, I want to say a big shout out to Filipino fans around the world who support BWTM. You always come out. You always support us. And thank you to you all. And I'm a massive Pacquiao fan, big, massive Pacquiao fan. But more to the point, I'm more about being a fan of boxing and more importantly, protecting the fighters, the legendary fighters that we've got left in the game and the legends that are in the game. The history of boxing is crucial to us. We must protect it. This is BWTM Online. As always, thank you for watching. And I ask, as always, just think about it. Think about it. Take care.